This is the Big O Show. 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 This is...
Where can you take $10,000 off the 2026 Acura MDX? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink, be the maestro of your own home.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Price, service, selection, get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store, Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days from Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
It's game day at Toyota of Hollywood. Our all-stars are here to give you our MVP experience. Join the fun and feast on discounts up to $4,500. Huddle up and score big on a 25 Corolla. Not $26,000, $17,988. It's a tailgate party you don't want to miss. So gobble up the savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
Where can you drive the new Acura TLX for only $399 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Good afternoon, boys and girls. What the hell are we going to talk about today on the show? Welcome aboard on a Tuesday, March 17th, 2028. It is day number 19,052 since the Miami Dolphins were world champions. It is day number 8,835 since the Canes were national champions. Welcome aboard. And it is the day before, and I was figuring this shit out. Tomorrow is my wife and I's 32nd wedding anniversary, bro. 32 tomorrow. 32 tomorrow. So I thought it was 33. I swear to God, I thought it was 33. So all kinds of good stuff. I got Bitcoin running too, of course, which is always a good thing. We're over 74. We're holding over 74, which is a beautiful thing. 74,485. So, it's all headed back up. There was some storms, and they're over, and we're moving on.
congratulations to Venezuela. So we'll have USA and Venezuela tonight at 8 o'clock. So we'll have some really good baseball. The only really good baseball that's going to be played in that building this year is what's been played during the World Baseball Classic. So enjoy. That's the only quality baseball you'll see all year long in that building. So what are we going to talk about, huh? All right, there's so many layers to this story of Jaylen Waddle getting traded to the Denver Broncos. All right, first of all, I'm going to talk about the Jaylen Waddle trade on behalf of John Eric Sullivan, okay? My opinion, this was a phenomenal trade. Phenomenal trade. You got a first and a third, and you swap fours. Okay, so swapping the four, whatever, it doesn't mean much. But the first and the third for Jaylen Waddle at this point, it makes all the sense in the world. I got to tell you something. I thought if you could trade Jaylen Waddle, you'd be lucky to get a second rounder. That's what I thought. Yeah, on the high end, a second rounder. He got a first and a third. They now have 4 third-round picks, by the way. You know, you can do, if you can pick well, you should be able to do a lot of damage here in the early part of the draft. But we'll see if he can do that. But this trade was phenomenal. So let me explain something to you all here. Okay? Jaylen Waddle, do you know his age? You don't, huh? He's 27. He'll be 28 in November. Let me just add that caveat for you. So you're going to suck this year. You're going to suck next year. So you're going to suck during age 28 and age 29. You might start turning the corner if they made all the right picks, if this is the coach, if all that falls into place. In year 3, you can start turning the corner if you're the Dolphins. And in year 4 is when you're going to be good. So we're talking about 31 at that point. This is what's called foresight. By the time you're really going to be a good team, he has already peaked and then headed the other way. Plus, all the wear and tear you're going to deal with for the next couple of years. And, you know, he gets nicked up and he drops the football and he does all his other stuff. And, you know, I have my issues with him. He doesn't miss a ton of games, but he does get kicked, you know, nicked up and misses a little time here and there, even during a game and stuff. So, for me, this was a genius trade because you have to look at it at where you stand right now. What is the landscape? How are we projecting the team? Well, you know you're rebuilding for the next 2 years, right? So, what do you need Jaylen Waddle for? I know. Don't get ahead of me. There's another subject that this dominoes into. We'll get to it. So the point is, this was the kind of move you do when you are rebuilding. And he probably thought nobody was going to give him this. You know, we're going to have Ben Albright, who covers the Broncos daily. We'll have David Furones, obviously, covering the Dolphins. So we'll get both angles on the trade from these guys. But on the Denver side, this is a good trade for them. It's a great trade for the Dolphins. It's a good trade for Denver. The window is now for Denver. They need to win now. They needed to add another weapon to their arsenal, and now they add a guy that's probably a number 2. But that's good for Bo Nix. That's good for the offense. They have a really good defense. They need to be a little bit better in the passing game and in the offense. So their window is now. Jaylen Waddle is now. He's 28. So now at 28 and 29 and 30, he gets an opportunity to play with a playoff team right now where he is in his peak. He will not be in his peak for the Dolphins, and he'll be on the decline for the Dolphins by the time they're good. So because of the time part of it, this is a good trade for Denver. They swap 4s, so they get an earlier 4. So that's a smart move for them. They have to give up a first and a third, but they get a pass catcher that they desperately need. And they need it for right now. And they don't have to pay the signing bonus. that was paid on the extension. The Dolphins paid that. So now the Dolphins take a little bit more dead cap money hit also on this trade, which will go into next year. Which, because everybody, I hear a lot of the people in the media, oh, no, it's only 1 year and then they're free next year. And then they don't notice that there's more Tua money and there'll be more other things like this now that will go on. And, it'll add on to the following season and all that kind of stuff. So just relax. It's all good. For the next 2 years, you're rebuilding. This is a really smart move. Super smart move. You have 2 first-rounders now. You have 4 third-rounders now. You have 7 picks in the first, 90-something picks in the draft, which is just stupid. Gracias. So, just ridiculous. You want to rebuild? This is how you rebuild. This is what you do. This was a fantastic move. Okay? I like Waddle. He's a good player. There's some issues with him. I don't like the drops. He has them in key moments, which is baffling to me at times. And Denver will see that for themselves. And, he'll get a little nicked up here or there. And so I kind of worry about him too on the injury side. He doesn't miss a ton of games, but he does kind of scare you constantly getting nicked up. So just things to look out for. But and we'll talk about that with Ben. And we'll talk about that also with David Furones. But for me, I freaking love the move. I thought John Eric Sullivan absolutely nailed it. Really. Absolutely nailed it. All right. Let's get to it. What else do we have? Don't forget, folks, please smash. Come on, man. We got almost 300 people watching, and we've only got 73 likes. That really gets the algorithms going, and it gets the show out to more people. So please give us a like there. We appreciate it, as always. You can also make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your questions, comments, and insults. My man, Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker, just sent me one. He goes, love the trade. Trade Achane too. None of these players going to be in their prime in 3-4 years. Thank you, Stephen. As for Devon Achane, what do you do now with Devon Achane? Because a lot of people, trade him. Okay. But what I love about what Sully did is that Sully said, no, we're staying with Devon and we're staying with Waddle. We're not trading those guys. So right away, they sent the message like, well, dude, if you want them, you're going to have to knock our socks off. And that's what they did with Waddle. They got a first and a third for a player that I think is worth a second, to be quite honest. I'm just being honest. So I think they're doing the same thing when it comes to Achane. I think they'll keep Achane, but, and I told you earlier in the show, during the week here, last week, expect them to draft another running back. If they're not happy with Ali and Jay, and they're not convinced in their system, those guys, they're going to draft their own guy because Green Bay always has a couple guys running. They don't bell cow one. They always have a duo. So expect them to draft somebody else. Now, you can expect them to draft a wide receiver for sure, one point or another, right? In the first 3 rounds, they're drafting at least one wide receiver. There's no doubt about that. With the running back, I think they're going to do the same thing. They're going to keep Achane because they can control him, and they have no problem. But remember, running backs aren't worth a lot of money. There's not a lot of what's that called? They don't pay a lot, in other words, for running backs when they trade for them. What value? Yeah, they're low on value. You don't really get what they are. Like Achane's worth like a first rounder. He really is worth a first rounder. But who's going to give you a first rounder? So you may see that you hang on to Achane all the way to the trading deadline. and then somebody suffers an injury either during the offseason leading into the season or leading in or during the season for their playoff run. And then you've got them by the balls. So if they are about to start the season and in training camp they lost their starting running back, they're going to go, yo, John, it's John Eric, sir. I'm sorry, John Eric. You got a guy named Devon Achane on your team. Oh, yeah. We love him. He's fantastic. Man, what a player. You know, he was in the locker room today, and he was showing some great leadership skills to our young guys. Just a fantastic human being. How can I help you? It's going to happen. So that's what I think you're not seeing any desperation. They're not going, everything's for sale. We've got it all for sale. No. So that's where the desperation and the, stuff that some of you, we got to get rid of Achane next. No, you got to wait. You got to wait for somebody like the Broncos going, well, what do we do? Draft another kid? And we have to count on a rookie right now when this is our moment? No, let's go get a ready-made receiver right now. Let's go get a ready-made running back. So that's what's going to happen. They will hang on to Devon Achane until somebody knocks their socks off. If they don't, then you'll keep the running back and you'll do whatever you can with it. But I think that's what the future entails for Devon Achane. So we'll see. And running backs aren't necessarily super expensive. So it's not the end of the world. All right? So there you go. All right. I'm sorry? I think 301 million.
301?
Yes.
Adam Schefter just put out the Miami Dolphins dead money for this season, now over 175 million.
Yeah, because they just added more to it.
Yeah.
So it's just it's not as simple as everybody makes it out to be. Leonardo Joseph, thank you for the love on Cash App. Remember, Cash App or Venmo, another great way to support our show. We get 100% of the donation. We love the super chats, but stinking YouTube takes 30%. That's like Sean and I work too damn hard. Leonardo Joseph says, happy early 32nd anniversary, Big O. God bless. Thank you. Yes, it is a blessing, my brother. My wife is a total blessing. There's no doubt about that. That woman is crazy tolerating me this long. That's for damn sure. Anyway, so thank you, Leonardo. Appreciate you immensely. What do we got here on the chat board? It's active today. Miles Deep, I see, is number one. Oscar Rojas. Michael Mata, Captain Saki out in Tarpon Springs, Ray Varnicus, Oscar Rojas. Yeah, I don't think Waddle was truly a number one. Jack Roldan. I don't like this. We got Malik and not a trade away. Well, here's another angle of what everybody's also worried about. Now, a lot of you are now on my bandwagon, because I'm used to being the bad guy. I'm the guy that always tells you stuff that you don't want to hear, and it usually turns out to be right, that kind of stuff. And I did not like this move for Malik Willis at all. It made no sense. It didn't even make Green Bay sense, as I've explained over and over. For those of you that are new, Green Bay, every time they start a quarterback on a ready-made team. The quarterback is brewed and matured and marinated in the background. And then when they feel the quarterback is right, then they bring him out. But they never put him on a shitty team. Brett Favre had a ready-made team. Mikowski had won like 10 games 2 years before. They were just like in a slump because Mikowski was, he was They trade for Favre, and then they get back on track, but it was a good team. And then when they draft Aaron Rodgers and they keep him on the bench for 4 years, when they start him, the team's ready. It's waiting for Rodgers. The team's ready, waiting for Love. The team's ready. Willis is filling in. So why would the Green Bay guys bring Willis into a bad team? Because that's what Dolphins do. They put nothing around Tannehill, and Tannehill was already limited as it is with his brain. And so now you put limited around him, and he took a beating. And it was terrible. Brian Hartline was his number one. And then you bring Tua, you draft Tua to a head coach that hates him, and there's no offensive line. Like Jesse Davis is your tackle. And like Waddle was your only weapon, and you didn't have enough time because you couldn't play him on the outside. You had to play him in the slot because you had to get rid of the ball quickly. Like, I am sick and tired of the stupid-ass Dolphins way where you put a young quarterback behind a shitty team. That never works. The Green Bay way works, and then we get the Green Bay guys, but they don't do the Green Bay way. Like, yo, bro. So I had to take a shot there at this one, at John Eric Sullivan on this one. I don't like that move. If you had a ready-made team and you were testing the wheels with him, I kind of get it because, but he's a young quarterback. He can't carry anything. So my whole point with John Eric Sullivan on Malik is they must think he's a complete stud because there's no other reason why to take a chance on a rebuild and a project quarterback that really isn't the guy, because I don't believe he's the guy. But if he is, then we're going to have to give major kudos to John Eric Sullivan. But if he's not, it's stupid. What if Malik Willis, for those of you that are new tuning in, what if Malik Willis helps you win 1 or 2 games this year and you were supposed to win 1 or 2 and you win 2 or 3? What if you were supposed to win 2 or 3 and he wins 2 or 3 more? And he's not the guy. He just Matt Moored the bitch for you. He got a couple of wins for you. He Damon Heward your ass. He did a little Fitzpatrick where he pulled out a couple of wins, but he's not the guy. And he ruins your draft. I mean, if you're going to tear it down, let's tear it down, bitch. So if Malik Willis is not a franchise player, this was a stupid-ass move, like I mentioned last week when this happened. I'll tell you, this was a genius move, the Waddle one, but that one was a stupid-ass move. And the only reason it will not become a stupid-ass move is if Malik Willis, we find out, holy shit, that guy's a franchise quarterback. He's just going to have to suck it up and survive the next couple of years until they can, build it around him. If we come out saying that, then John Eric Sullivan is the bomb for quarterbacks. If he doesn't, well, it's like everybody else. They haven't found the quarterback. But I hate the move for Malik Willis. And now I hate the move even more because now you're putting a young quarterback behind an even worse team. And if somebody blows the doors off for you for Achane, Malik has nothing, and he's not a big quarterback. He can't take a bunch of hits. For me, the Malik Willis move was stupid. It had nothing to do with it. I know, they'll get out of the money in 2 years, and it's not a big deal. That's not the point. The point is, if he's not good enough and he only won you a couple of extra games, for what? There's no reason to win a couple of, we don't even know how to tank, bitch. Like, Flo didn't understand, mofo, you're not supposed to win games. Like, he didn't understand that. He did everything to win games. Like, moron, it's the mulligan year. So this is the mulligan year. Lose. What are we bringing Malik Willis here for? So he better be a franchise guy. Because if he's not, it's an absolutely stupid move. I don't need a guy that's going to help me win an extra game or two. This is not a playoff team that I need a guy to win a couple extra games. No. This is a shit team that doesn't need to win any extra games. So that's where I go the other way against Eric Sullivan on the Malik Willis move. I just do. And the worst part about it is, dude, we got the Green Bay guys and they're not even doing it the Green Bay way. That's the baffling part about all of that. Like, you guys didn't learn a damn thing. Or he's a superstar. And he better be a superstar because that'll be the first shot I have to take at John Eric Sullivan and say, yeah, that was a stupid move. That was a stupid move. And that's where I'm going to have to lean on. Eric, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Hate to see Waddle go, although a team might trade up and trade back in with the Finns. We are in a good spot in the first round. Exactly. Yeah, man. Definitely. Definitely. How about if you trade that extra first round pick during the draft for another first round pick next year and a second round pick, just so you can position yourself even more for a quarterback. You can do crazy shit like that now when you're in a rebuild. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, sir. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Ho Yoon, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo, as always, every week. Appreciate it. He just puts, have a great day. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you immensely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The other thing is that I've been hearing going on is Achane. That Achane one, you just got to wait. And we'll see what happens with that Achane one. But I would imagine that if they blow the doors off, you'll get something. Just got to hang in there. But I think these are kind of the angles of all of this stuff happening today. You know, and if you're a Dolphins fan, I love this. Well, I mean, if you followed my show for years, I love rebuilds. I don't mind rebuilds. Like this year with the Heat, I wanted everybody traded, and I wanted to go all young, didn't I? You know, and they still went their stupid ways. They're stuck in their old ways, and they screwed it all up again. But whatever, it is what it is, unfortunately. The Heat was what they were. They're not that anymore, and they never will be, apparently. Sadly, they don't want to adjust. So I don't mind rebuilds. Just do it right. And I love this move. This is just an absolutely fantastic move. By the way, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. And we start off with the Miami Dolphins as they trade Jaylen Waddle in a fourth-round pick to the Denver Broncos for Denver's first, third, and fourth-round picks. Obviously, a fourth is basically a swap of picks. Yesterday in baseball, Venezuela beat Italy 4-2 in the World Baseball Classic. So Venezuela will take on the USA at 8 o'clock tonight. USA's minus 300 on the money line. Venezuela's plus 210. USA minus 130 with a run and a half. And the over and under is 8.5 runs. Tonight, the Heat take on the Hornets. Hornets are favored by 3.5. Over and under is 233.5. Heat plus 140. Hornets minus 170 on the money line. Panthers at the Canucks tonight at 10 o'clock. Tomorrow, CONCACAF Champions Cup action. Inter Miami will host Nashville at Chase Stadium at 7 o'clock. Saturday at 5 o'clock, Lexington FC will host our Fort Lauderdale United at 5. You can catch the game on Peacock and on Channel 10. Sunday at 1 o'clock, Inter Miami is back in action again. They will visit NYC FC on the road. They're plus 210 on the money line. And Friday, 10-10, the University of Miami basketball team gets their first round matchup against Missouri. Number 7 Miami, number 10 Missouri. Miami's favored by 1.5. The over and under is 147.5. Miami is plus 110 on the money line. Missouri is minus 135 on the money line. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Anthony Campos, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. He says, 2031, what chapter rebuild Big O and Dolphin Bible? We will see what we get. Let's just hope that these guys know what the hell they're doing, man. Big O, I agree. In 2019, Fitzpatrick won 5 games, and we got the 5th pick, and who we got? Tua, and Tua sucked. Could have gotten Burrow. Should have stayed with the plan, bro. Josh Rosen. They brought the perfect person to lose all the games. And it was like they even traded for they traded for a guy that was sure to sabotage. And like they didn't understand. The worst part is, think about this. Think about the dumbass owner we have. Before you hire the guy, don't you have that sit down with him like, okay, we have an understanding, right? Before you sign this contract, you're not trying to win any games your first year. And we're all good with this. And the agent sitting there, Flo's sitting there, Chris Greer's sitting there, Shore's sitting there, the son-in-law is sitting there with his diapers on at that time, whatever. Okay? At that moment, you're supposed to like, Brian, we're good, right? We're trying to get Joe Burrow here. I mean, do we have to be any more on? And they kind of like signed the guy, and then after kind of assumed that he would know that you need to tank, and you didn't like really talk to him about it. Because that's something that you should have like talked to him about right before you signed him. That way, if you, oh no, I have a problem with that. Oh, you do? Oh, okay. Well, hey, I'm sorry. This was great. We tried, but it's not going to be a fit. We wish you the best. And that's it. And you move on. And you would have avoided yourself. You could have found somebody. But think about it. The Dolphins made such a terrible trade with Josh Rosen. In the end, it was the perfect trade to sabotage the season. And even that we didn't know how to do. So, what can I tell you? That's why I've been against the Malik Willis signing. He better be an absolute freaking stud. He better be an absolute stud. It's the only way you justify the signing, that he is a franchise quarterback, that you could not pass him up because you were convinced he's a franchise guy. And that's the way I'm looking at this signing. That Sully's telling us that I could not pass up on this guy. This guy was a franchise, because if you're going to put shit around him, doesn't make sense. I saw Archie Manning with shit around him. It's not fun. I saw Steve Young in Tampa Bay with shit around him. It's not fun. I've seen the Steve Bartkowskis of the world stuck with shit around him, and he never really was able to really show who he was for an entire career because he played constantly on bad teams. And then let's just go on with young quarterbacks who you draft and then you just throw them to the wolves on bad football teams. I'm tired of seeing that, dude. And as a Dolphins fan, I'm super tired. And when John Eric Sullivan pulled this shit last week, I was like, bro, nobody ever effing learns. Nobody effing ever learns. Build the teams up first, build the lines, then go draft your young quarterback. We always do that stupid ass shit, and so do a bunch of other teams. You draft a young guy, and now you go, oh, we got a window. Let's kill ourselves. Why, dude? Build the team up first, then mortgage whatever you have to do in picks and go get your young quarterback. That way, when the young quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, shows up on a young team, did he have to do much that first year? Tom Brady, when you give him the start on a ready-made team and he's a young, did he have to do that much that first year? And they won. Jalen Hurts on a ready-made team. Look what ends up. Did he carry them? No. It was a running game, the defense, and the lines. Jalen just had to make a couple of throws and that stupid tush push. Make a couple of runs, and that's it. Nothing. Nick Foles, the same shit. Bob Greasy won a Super Bowl throwing 7 times. We're stupid human beings down here with the Miami Dolphins organization. Absolutely stupid human beings. Build the team first. Stop putting young quarterbacks on terrible teams. It does not work out. It just doesn't. It's amazing, because Steve Young didn't struggle in BYU. Didn't struggle with the LA Express, didn't struggle with San Francisco, but somehow he struggled with the Bucs. I wonder why. Damn. Wonder why. It's weird. Kurt Warner succeeds with the Rams. Doesn't do that much with the Giants because they were kind of floundering at that time. Goes back to Arizona, goes to the Super Bowl. What a concept. So, it's just it's a weird dynamic, and that's what pissed me off last week with the whole Malik Willis. We go, well, what are we doing here again? So now, here we are again, and that kid's going to go through hell. And I don't care if you draft a receiver. I don't count on a rookie receiver. They're not going to bail you out, guys. You know that. It's very rare that you have a receiver, and they're probably not going to draft him at number 11. At number 11 will probably be a lineman, an OD lineman, some kind of an impact player at the line of scrimmage, maybe a corner, maybe a safety. I don't think it's going to be a receiver. Okay? I just don't. Just, you've got 4 third rounders now. You got a late first rounder and a second rounder. That's more where I think the receiver will end up landing. I think you'll get one of the top players there, at number 11, some kind of an impact lineman. You have to. So that's where the whole frustration of the whole Willis thing. Let's see. What else do we have? Yeah, they gave up a second rounder for Rosen. Yeah, they did screw up, but they also picked the perfect person to sabotage the season, and they didn't even go through it with it. At least if that would have turned into Joe Burrow, I would have felt better about it, right? I would have gone, Josh, thank you for getting me to Joe. But meanwhile, I had Flo, who stopped me from getting Joe. What do you know? Just ridiculous. It hurts being a Dolphins fan. It just hurts. It's like a constant pain, Sweet baby Ray, thank you for the love, sir, on Cash App. I appreciate you. O is no financial advisor, but he has a crystal ball. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Although I did not see this dip, but then again, I did not expect that we would have a guy in the White House that was making all kinds of really stupid things to destroy stuff. But hey, what are you going to do? That one I didn't see. Let's see. Big O, can we trust the Heat in the post Pat Riley? No, I don't trust Harrison and Riley right now anymore. They refuse to change their ways. So Travis says, do not trade Achane. That would be dumb. Think about this, dude. Okay? Achane, something going on? What do we got? Oh, wow. Oh my God. Do me a favor. Give me a minute break here. Give me 1 minute break here. 1 minute break. Okay? My bad. Yes, go.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Yo! Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
It's game day at Toyota of Hollywood. Our all-stars are here to give you our MVP experience. Join the fun and feast on discounts up to $4,500. Huddle up and score big on a 25 Corolla. Not $26,000, $17,988. It's a tailgate party you don't want to miss. So gobble up the savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt.
All right. Welcome back, folks. Big O with you, and big day today. Obviously, the Dolphins end up making a move, which most of us did not expect, but Jaylen Waddle gets moved to the Denver Broncos, along with a 4th-round pick. Miami gets in return from Denver a 1st round, a 3rd round, and a 4th-round pick. We are going to go to Denver to talk to my man, Ben Albright, who, of course, is the insider for the Broncos in KOA in Colorado. How you doing, my brother? Make sure you follow him, by the way, on Twitter at Albright NFL. How you doing, my friend? You doing good?
Doing well. Good to see your face.
Good to see you, man. You stacking? You stacking during this?
Always.
This
Always.
I didn't expect this. I didn't expect this Bitcoin dip, dude. Not this.
Well, I sort of had a little gut feeling, and I saved a little rainy day money to be able to put behind that to kind of buy the dip a little bit. So continuing to stack.
I didn't think it would drop this low, but I'm blessed. I'm like, okay, good. I'm getting cheaper Bitcoin for me is just an absolute blessing.
I love a sale.
Right. I look at this trade two ways. I think it's a good trade for the Broncos, and I think it's a great freaking trade for the Miami Dolphins. Waddle is going to be 28 in November. You're going to suck for the next 2 years that you're rebuilding, and if you make the right moves, then you'll start turning the corners probably in years 3 and 4 of this whole thing. So why are you going to carry Waddle through years 28, 29, and 30 while you suck? And maybe when you're good, he might be 31. For Denver, your window's now, dude. Bo Nix needs a player right now. So you're giving up a later first and a later third, and you're moving up in the fourth, and you get a pass catcher that you desperately need for the window that is now. I think this is the kind of trade that everybody can gain from. Obviously, the Dolphins have to make the right picks with those selections, but Denver already gets the proven player. Your thoughts on the way you look at it?
Pretty similarly, I think. It was a steep price. Don't get me wrong for Denver, but you're right. They're in the window. Bo Nix is still on the rookie deal. So you get a chance to pair him with Cortland Sutton for a season. They'll probably say goodbye to Sutton after this year. Pat Bryant would be the heir apparent to his position, but because Waddle's deal is very favorable for the Broncos this year. Now, of course, it balloons the next 2 years, so you either need to redo the contract. You're going to have to move some things around now. The Broncos needed somebody, a credible, take the top off receiver. They had, Marvin Mims showed flashes, but they barely used him. Troy Franklin, when he catches the ball is nice, but that's always an adventure. And so you had Sutton working the jump balls, working the 50-50 balls, the slant, all that kind of stuff. You needed a credible guy the defenses have to roll coverage on in order to make Sean Payton's offense work. You go back and look at his history with the Saints, and he always had that. He either had, he had Colston and Michael Thomas as kind of that X receiver, that slant god, as we called it. And on the backside, he'd have a burner. He'd have somebody that gave you that cachet, whether that was Ted Ginn or Deverick Henderson or Brandon Cooks or Kenny Stills. You go on and on. They had that guy. Broncos haven't had that guy. Now they've got it. They push it all in here, as the division, one of the toughest in football, gets tougher. It'll be interesting to see how this works out for them.
Yeah, to me, I mean, dude, it's kind of like perfect timing for you're not going to draft another wide receiver. This is your window. You have to count on a young guy to come in and fill in and grow into the position and that kind of stuff. And I'm sure Denver fans have seen that in the past. And it's hard. Sometimes not all these young receivers come in and make an instant impact at times. To me, this is something that, and I don't know if you tell me, does he fit what they do there? You think it's a good fit also then?
I do. He's going to get a lot of screen targets his way because, that's what they like to call around the line of scrimmage. And then he'll get 3 or 4 vertical shots a game down that sideline. So he's going to, he'll get both the volume of targets on the one hand, and then he'll get his opportunities to go deep on the other. The one thing that he will definitely need to do is be a willing run blocker. That is asked of all receivers in this offense. Not that, they throw the ball more than anybody in the league, but you have to be willing to do it. So that's one thing that maybe he'll need to get prepared for, is that he's going to be out there doing that. And then the other part of this is these bizarro rotations that Sean Payton does. With Davis Webb calling the offense, don't know if that's still going to be a thing, but they shuffle personnel out in and out every play. And so some guys, you got to be ready when you're called on. It's not like you just get in a rhythm, you're out there, all that kind of stuff. With this offense, you get shuffled around a little bit.
Yeah. And by the way, a lot of the stuff you talked about is what he did here, because there's going to be a lot of screens and then take some deep shots. Just out of curiosity, what have people told you are any knocks on Jaylen Waddle? Because a couple that I want you to be aware of. Just wondering, what have you heard so far?
Well, I think everybody knows about the size, but that is what it is. Can't fix that. There's one little thing on tape when you watch him when he goes to make a catch, he kind of does a little hop, which kind of slows him down on some of that after the catch stuff. So that's going to be interesting. I wonder how that's going to translate in terms of some things. There are some body catching stuff, a little bit of that, but beyond that, this is typical. He's a burner receiver with a couple little holes in his game type stuff. Now the good thing is he's versatile. He can play the X or the Z, but he'll be a Z in this offense.
Yes, he can. He is versatile in that sense. The two knocks that I would have on him is he does get nicked up a lot. He doesn't miss a ton of time, but he'll get nicked up in a game and things like that. And then, Ben, the one frustrating thing that has developed in him for over the last 3 years, he has a tendency that when he drops passes, they tend to be key passes.
Okay.
And I hope it does not continue there in Denver, but it's something that I just make a mental note on it, because if there's one knock that I had with Waddle at times, it would be a key third down. It would kill a drive. It would drop a touchdown, whatever. It was just something that it would just end up being. And it's not like he has a ton of them, but he has enough. And then they're in key moments, so they kind of stand out. You know, he had a Cincinnati game where basically the 2 drops he had pretty much cost him the game, you know, that kind of stuff. So it just one of those things that I hope he kind of, you know, gets that away. I don't know how, you know, what the receivers coach is there and all that kind of stuff, but that's the one tendency that I wish he would get rid of.
Well, they fired the receivers coach this offseason and hired Ronald Curry, you know, somebody who had previously worked with Sean. So we'll see how that is. Broncos certainly familiar with receivers dropping the ball at big moments, you know, with Troy Franklin over the last couple of years. And this is ostensibly an upgrade to that. I mean, they paid a premium for him to be an upgrade to that. So we'll see.
All right. Good shot, man. What do you think about the Dolphins from afar? What do you think they're doing?
I mean, they're stripping it down to the floor, you know, 170 million, I think, right now, a dead cap, but loading up in terms of draft picks over the next couple of years. I mean, that's what you're going to do. If you're going to tear something down, tear it down. Don't just put paint on a bad house and call it fixed. So I respect that they're tearing it all the way down to the studs and going to try and build it. I hope that they hit on these draft picks. You know, a good Miami Dolphins team's good for the league, and you know, we'll see. I think they got a decent coach out there. Certainly love what you know, what he is. What he's been capable of before. And so it's going to be fascinating to see, you know, what they're able to do with this turnaround.
By the way, did you agree with the Malik Willis move? Because I didn't before this trade. And not, like, Ben, I'm so sick and tired of the Dolphins getting a young quarterback. Look, I wasn't a Tannehill guy, but when they drafted him, Brian Hartline was his best receiver. He took a beating the first 2 years. His weapons sucked. And then 2 of the first year, Jesse Davis is like your right tackle. Waddle had to play in the slot. He couldn't even play on the outside because the line wouldn't give him time. Didn't have a running game, nothing. He took a beating, broken ribs and knuckle and everything, and concussion and all that kind of shit. So I'm kind of tired of doing that. And in Green Bay, they've never done that, dude. All the quarterbacks step into a ready-made team. Always, dude. They mature, marinate their quarterbacks behind the scenes. And every time they step in, and then these guys come and they tear it down, and then they add Malik, which either tells me that he's saying, oh, this guy is a franchise guy and I can't pass him up. But if he's going to help you win an extra game or two, it makes no sense to me. Plus, he's a small guy and he can't take a beating. So how did you look at this Malik Willis signing?
I looked at it a little differently. I looked at it as a low-cost dice roll. I mean, in terms of quarterback salary, it's actually not that much. Right. You know, in terms of, you know, cap hit and all that. So I view it as like a low-cost dice roll. You're seeing what the guy has. If he's got a little something, you can always bench him and keep him in bubble wrap until the next year. If he comes out there and balls out, he's like taking you out of, you know, he's like maybe taking you out of position on some draft stuff. You're like, all right, we're going to put him in bubble wrap for this year. We'll run, you know, Quinn Ewers or whatever out there for a little while and go from there. I think it's a low-cost dice roll. It gives the fans some optimism while you're trying to rebuild this thing from the ground up. And if it doesn't work out, hey, all these draft picks hopefully put the foundation in place for you to go to the draft and get a quarterback, not this year's draft, but in next year's draft, which is loaded.
You got the Broncos challenging for the Super Bowl this year. They got a shot, dude, with that defense.
We'll see.
Bo Nix, I was not a believer, but I got to give the guy credit. He has a clutch gene to his ass, dude.
That's the thing. Like I you know, you look at him and you see it and you're like, all right, you know, he's Derek Carr 3/4 of a game, and then all of a sudden he's anti-Derek Carr in the fourth quarter, where he just puts a team on his back. He's got that sort of that Tebow magic, as it were, with just putting a team on his back at the right time. And so, you know, there's a little something to it. There's some rough aspects to his game. He overthrows the deep ball a little bit. He's a little scared of the middle of the field. He gets rid of the ball a little too quick sometimes, doesn't let stuff develop. But, you know, when the game is on the line, man, he comes through. And so I think they wanted to push all in on that. And so this next year, this is going to be an indictment of him. Is he the franchise? Is he the future here in Denver? We'll find out this year. He's got no excuses because he's got all the talent in the world around him.
Yeah, he's proven me wrong so far. I wasn't a Bo Nix guy. And, you know, his game is kind of spotty but in the first 3 quarters. But, man, that fourth quarter, I can't argue with that, and I got to give him props. All right, follow him on Twitter at Albright NFL. As always, Ben, thank you for taking some time, my brother, and breaking down this trade. Have a great one out there, my friend. Appreciate you.
For you anytime. Take care, brother.
You got it. Ben Albright, baby. KOA, Colorado, Denver Broncos insider. Good people. Good people. By the way, good people are the people at Acura of Pembroke Pines. They've got the Spring into Performance sales event going on right now. The 2026 Integra, $249 a month. They've got the ADX 2026, $319 a month. They've got the RDX 2026, $399 a month. The TLX Tech 2025 model, $399 a month. And the MDX, it's a spaceship, 2026 model, $499 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. Get on down there. Check it out at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Finest dealership in the business, baby. Nobody better when it comes to Acuras than Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right. Oh, man. Okay. What do we got going on? We will have David Furones in hour number 2 of the program. We'll have a little fun with David, and we'll get to talk with him. We'll break it down, get his thoughts on this trade, which I absolutely loved. Don't forget, folks, please smash the hell out of the like button. It is very important that you hit the like button, okay? Appreciate it immensely. Let's see. What do we have here? They should have played the Beastie Boys Sabotage at Josh Rosen's introductory press conference. I say when Pat Riley is no longer there, then the question is, will Eric Spoelstra take Pat's spot, or will he remain as coach for another 3 to 5 years? I don't know. That's a great question, my friend. Let's see. The draft is going to be fun for the Dolphins. I agree. I listen, I love rebuilds. I'm excited for the draft. I'm excited for the young players. It is what it is. I know it's another rebuild and all that, and we're tired of rebuilds. Well, what are we going to do, man? You know, what are we going to do? Come on, man. What are we going to do? Do you have any control over it? Neither do I. We just got to hope that John Eric Sullivan is the ultimate badass and that Stephen Ross accidentally finally ran into the right person. That's what we got to hope for. That's all. That's what we got to hope for. And, I mean, if you're a Dolphins fan, like I got a guy on Twitter after the trade goes, well, until they screw up all the picks. And I'm like, yo, like, wow. I didn't even answer the guy. It's like, why am I going to answer somebody like that? Why don't we wait till after the fact? Then we can have some fun and we could give our opinions. Oh, I like this pick. I don't like this pick. I like this trade. I don't like this trade. We can then do that. And then we'll see them play. And then we'll find out if we're right or wrong. Like Bo Nix. I wasn't a Bo Nix guy. You know, I'm still not a Bo Nix guy. But I got to say, he's making me look wrong because somehow or another, bro, he screws up throughout the game. And then the fourth quarter, he finds a way to just get it done. It's truly amazing. It really is. You know, truly amazing. Let's see. All right. What else do we have going on? Let me see. Don't forget, folks, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Appreciate it as always. Thank you all out there. Send in your questions, comments, and insults. Thank God only Dolphins jersey I have is orange Ricky Williams. All right. Hey, man, listen, with Dolphins jerseys, you can start doing what I've been saying for years with the Marlins. Just get Velcro on the back and then just change the names. That's it. That's all. You know, have an interchangeable number that you could, like, go back in history and use somebody else. And that's it. Mix it up. Why not? Let's see what else. Big O, I guess this move, everybody's on the table. I say we get good value for Sealer sometime in the future or during the season, trade him. I think if they get the value and then somebody wants to like you heard Ben Albright say they overpaid. He said they overpaid. That's on the Denver side. I said they overpaid, but since I'm on the Dolphins side, if I'm saying something negative, then I'm a hater. And if I say something positive, that's how it is, right? I'm a homer if I say something positive. I'm a hater if I say something negative. So the Malik move, I'm an asshole, I'm a hater. And then the Waddle move, oh, you're just a homer. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the way it goes for me. What can I tell you?
Omar made freezing cold takes.
He did.
He did.
What did he say?
Although, tweet really wasn't that far off, but here it goes. Jaylen Waddle is not on the trade block. Dolphins aren't moving him unless someone offers a top 16 pick, which isn't happening. So stop talking about that one.
Well, they didn't offer a top 16 pick.
No, they didn't. No. But
I didn't think they would get a first rounder.
I didn't think they would get a first rounder.
I'm sorry. I thought a second rounder for
second
Waddle.
at best.
Second rounder for Waddle. Okay? Second rounder for Waddle. I never saw a first rounder. John Eric Sullivan, he killed it. He killed that bitch. Okay? Yes, sir.
I was going to say, I wonder if John Eric Sullivan actually thought he would get a one. He saw this deal and was like,
right.
Okay, done.
No, the best part is that John Eric Sullivan hung up on his ass and said, well, no, that's nice. Well, we'll give you a 5. That's so good, man. Appreciate that. No, but we really love Waddle. He's such a great player. We have big plans for him. We're going to build around the offense with Waddle. Week later, all right. We'll give you a third. But we got to swap 4s. Okay. All right. You twisted my arm. So he took the first and a third. I mean, he killed it. That was how do you deny that trade? How do you say no to that? In fact, the balls he had to build that trade up to that point, that's strong on his part. I got to give him because I probably would have already given up on the first already. Shit, you're giving me a first? I would have made a shitty GM. Oh, man. Let's see. What else do we have? Buffalo was going to give us what? Was going to give us a 1-2, but nah, you never know if that's true or not. That part and obviously a 1 wasn't enough. Okay? That's the best part. A 1 wasn't enough for this guy. Lenny Pena says, I like what Sully is doing, but it looks like Willis is going to be running for his life. Yeah. I'm just saying, Willis better be an absolute freaking stud. Absolute freaking stud. Oh, by the way, any of you guys I should put up that poll question again I put up over the weekend on how many wins the Dolphins are going to have in the 2026 season. I put up this poll question. And, we always have the crazy blind-ass fans. You got the alert for me? Here we go. 9% of you voted that the Dolphins this year would win 8+ games.
Blind-ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind-ass fan coming through.
Oh, God. Another 5 to 7 wins, 43% of you. So that means that's the Malik Willis factor. They're expecting Willis to be such a dimension that they're going to win 5 to 7 games. Then 4 to 5, that's the average fan that doesn't want to face ultimate pain. So they settle for 4 or 5 right there. And that's 38%. 1 to 3 wins, only 10%. Notice how the 8+ is 9% and the 1 to 3 is 10% because it's kind of like the extremes. And most Dolphin fans stayed away from the 1 to 3 because it's so painful that they have to pick that it's an option that it would be just, All right, folks, we're going to get to David Furones in a few minutes. This weekend, by the way, The Fort Lauderdale United will hit the road, and they're going to take on Lexington SC at 5 o'clock. You can catch it on Channel 10 and also on Peacock, by the way. So local options for you, or if you're nationally anywhere else, you can see it on Peacock. Maggie Mace is kind enough to join us now, defender for the Fort Lauderdale United. And
Hello.
Hello, Maggie.
Thanks
How
for
are you
having
doing?
me. I'm good. How are you?
My pleasure. It's my pleasure. Looking forward to the game this Saturday.
Me too.
Against Jacksonville. And by the way, how cool is it for a Florida girl to be on her team in Florida, huh? That's pretty
It's
cool.
so much fun. Yes, it's so nice being back home, closer to my family. So yeah, it's awesome.
Wait a minute, you didn't like freezing your butt off in Washington State?
No, it was a good experience. It was definitely a change of weather, change of lifestyle, but no, I'm glad to be back. That's all I'll say on that.
Maggie, all I could tell you, listen, I'm born in Belglade, Florida. I'm born and raised in Florida. I'm a weirdo. I'm a Floridian. Are you also a weirdo?
Yeah, born and raised in Florida. Yeah,
You know
we're
we're
just
weird.
different.
You know we're weirdos, right? You know that like there's few of us. Like we're
Yeah,
the few,
yeah.
actually. So whenever I go up north, oh my God.
The
Like,
people there are just so different.
No, forget the people. I'm talking about the cold. I'm talking about my blood. It's too thin. I can't do that.
Yeah.
So how did you adjust to that stuff? Because, I see friends of mine sending me pictures of those blizzards and all that, and I'm like, that's pure insanity. So I'm just
I
wondering, how did you
I
adjust?
honestly don't mind the cold.
Really?
Yeah. It's I like skiing and stuff. Like I like being in the cold for smaller periods of the year. So I would say when it got cold around like October, November, December, that was fine. But then when it stayed cold into like February, March, April, that's when I was like, okay, I'm ready for the warm weather now.
Oh God. I don't know. It's hard for me to adjust that. I go up there and I could visit, like I went to Madrid with the wife to go cover the Dolphins, and it was raining and 50 degrees the entire week. And
Oh
it's just like,
no.
it was just like, yeah, it's just wow. Is Washington where you were at in that area? Was it a rainy area too?
Not
besides
as
the area?
much as Seattle, the area that I was in. It wasn't as rainy. It was more just kind of gray in the spring, cloudy, and then it would obviously get cold and snow a little bit, but it wasn't, I would say, year-round rainy.
Yeah. See, I love Seattle, by the way. I went to visit it last year, and what a beautiful city that is. Man, that is
Mhm.
a beautiful city. Did you enjoy Seattle a lot?
Yeah, Seattle's gorgeous. It's so much fun. Some of my teammates live there, so I would go visit them, and yeah, it was so much fun. Great
All right.
city.
Cool stuff. All right. So how did this happen? How did it come together? How'd you end up here?
Well, I graduated college in December and I knew I wanted to play professionally. So, I went through the whole process, had my coaches help me, got an agent, and just started kind of reaching out to coaches, seeing where whoever was looking for players, seeing if I could try out, if they wanted to talk to me. And I just did that for a while, kept working at it. And then I actually heard back from Paul and Tyrone and they wanted me to come down and try out. So, yeah, one weekend I just booked a flight, came down here, and then tried out for a couple weeks, and then made the team. So it was super awesome. Great
It's
opportunity.
satisfying when you can gamble on yourself, right? Isn't it a
Mhm.
beautiful thing?
Yeah.
And it's kind of what you're doing nowadays. It's a lot more different your road to professional than, let's say, somebody that's playing like basketball and then there's a draft and those kind of things that are already structured in there. It's a lot
Yeah.
different when you're a free agent in soccer and trying to find a home and then trying to put together a tape because there's so many soccer players. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's just it's a challenge. How when you're facing that mentally, how did you take it? How'd you take that challenge on? Because it's a different kind of challenge than being on the pitch and playing against somebody.
Yeah, I just knew, I kind of knew beforehand that it was going to be a long process. It wasn't going to be linear. It wasn't going to happen overnight. And I kind of just had to go in with the mindset of, I'm just going to keep trying, give it my all, take what I can get, and kind of go all in. And if it doesn't work out, then doesn't work out. There's going to be no regrets. So I basically just had that mindset about it. Like, might as well try my hardest and see what happens.
Maggie Mace, by the way, defender number 47 for the Fort Lauderdale United, joining us as the Fort Lauderdale United get ready to take the road on Saturday at 5 o'clock to take on Lexington. Maggie, one more thing I got to ask you, just so you walk us through it, because we're obviously neophytes in this. We don't know. We've never done this. What does a soccer tryout look like for a free agent when you go try out for a team? What is it? What are you put through? Put us through that experience.
So basically, you arrive, you get put in housing. So yeah, I stayed in a house with a couple of other girls that were trying out, and then you kind of just join in with whatever the team's doing for 2 weeks. So I'd wake up in the morning, I'd go to the locker room, get ready, just hang out with the girls, have breakfast, and then sit in on film, sit in on meetings, just try to learn and adapt to the environment, and then go in and train and just try to prove yourself, basically.
Wow, that's interesting. So it's not like just some specific individual tryout for a couple of hours in a day where they put you through some skills or put you up against a player or two. No, they actually put you in the environment for a couple of weeks to see if you fit in the entire environment, not just on the pitch, but in the classroom and all that. Because in a lot of pro sports that I've covered all my life, they never get to the part of in the classroom or anything like that, because it's really just a physical workout, and then they kind of make a decision right there and then whether they're going to sign you through the physical and the workout and all that kind of stuff. That's is that the only sport that does this?
I am not sure. I do think soccer's a lot like this just because there's so many leagues, so many teams, so many girls. And soccer's also it's there's 11 people on the field at a time on your team. And so you have to build a good relationship with people. You have to have a good team dynamic. So I think it's best to just put the player in training and in a team environment and see how they do instead of doing a one-on-one session that might not give you the whole picture of how they're actually going to be as a player.
All right, so Maggie, what is it you do to get yourself psyched and ready to go? What is Maggie's routine on Saturday leading up to 5 o'clock?
My routine is I try to sleep in a little bit, but not too much. So around like 8:30, I'll get up, talk to my family in the morning, just talk to my mom, people I love, puts me in a good mood.
Better to wake up at 4:30 p.m. half hour before, throw some water on and just run out there.
No, those days are over. I was able to do that when I was younger, but not anymore.
Any music? What do you do? How do you get into the groove?
Yeah, music. I always listen to music before, try to relax myself a little bit before and about an hour. And then when we're in the locker room, it's just hype music, getting ready.
All right. What's the music? I got to know what kind of artist, what kind of music. What do you
I love listening to Drake when I'm in the locker room. I like house music. All house music gets me excited. Drake, Kendrick Lamar, Kodak Black, all those rappers.
Okay. All right. Good stuff there. All right. What can you tell me about Lexington? Obviously, you guys got to get in the groove and get back into the win column. What do you see from Lexington this week?
Yeah, Lexington is a really good team. They have a lot of good players, are doing well. So I think for us, the focus is more on us. We have to get back in our groove, realize that it's up to us to make changes and not worry about them as much as, can't worry about them too much. We'd have to focus on ourselves and just compete all out to get a win.
How is it right now? Morale? How are the girls right now fighting through a little bit of the adversity?
The morale's pretty high. Obviously, there's some frustrations. Everyone's frustrated. Nobody likes losing. And coming off of a loss, it's always hard to get your mind right. But the only thing we can do is move forward into the next game. So I think everyone realizes that, and we're ready to go for Saturday.
Are you ready? You're ready?
Yes.
Do you get any more? Do you get any butterflies anymore when you do this?
Yeah. I still get a little bit nervous, just a new team, new environment. But working through that and going to be even better next game.
Do you need to get like that first hit? Is that what it is?
Yeah. I feel like a first header, a first tackle, or even a first pass kind of gets me going.
Okay. I figured that. Okay. And one of the things that people would freak out with the women's game if they had actually watch and take some time, you guys are physical.
Oh yeah.
Man, you guys are brutal. Wow. You guys are brutal. You played it. You play for keeps. That's Women play for keeps, man. It is impressive. It is
Yeah.
impressive. So, yeah, good stuff. All right, Maggie, get it done on Saturday against
Yes.
Lexington. We appreciate you joining us here on the program. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You
Thank
got
you.
it. And don't forget, get your tickets at FTLUTD.com. Make sure you support our ladies out there. Get your tickets for the next home game. This one's a road game, so you can catch them on Peacock or on Channel 10. But make sure you visit our friends there at FTLUTD and catch them at Beyond Bankcard Field, their home place. All right. Thank you. And use that QR code right there, by the way, for Fort Lauderdale United. All right, we're going to have the man, the myth, the legend. That is David Furones in just a few minutes. We'll talk to David, and we'll get his thoughts on this draft. Let's see. What do we have here on the chat board? How will Furones spin the hopium now? You guys are brutal. With Inter Miami moving out of Chase Stadium, would Fort Lauderdale United be interested in playing at Chase Stadium in the future? Nope. They have their own stadium, dude. You haven't been there, huh? You haven't been there. That's why you say that. Like, they have their own stadium. It's like a really nice little stadium, and it's literally on the same property as their academy. And they've got a soccer academy, they've got a basketball academy, they've got a volleyball academy. They've got like 9 different fields. Like, you really don't understand what really is going on there. That is an enormous place, and it's tied also to Nova. So they have a partnership with Nova and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's they don't need it. They have it more, and that stadium, the way they're building it so they can then keep building on it as they grow and everything. Yes.
Are they going to be doing softball as well, or is that just a sponsorship thing? Because the field was wrapped in Fort Lauderdale United.
Yeah, softball is another one that they have.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. They do several
I
sports.
just noticed that this week when we were getting it.
Yes. Yeah, they're expanding. Their academies are expanding left and right, dude. They've got it really going on. So, yeah. So they don't need it, actually, Frankie. They've got like a really cool setup. Like, it's a really amazing setup. And they've got a great vibe. And there's like a lot of support from Nova University. And a lot of the kids, they wear the FTL UTD garb and all that kind of stuff all throughout and everything. So there's a lot of synergy going on in that place with the Fort Lauderdale United, the academies, and Nova Southeastern and everything. So it's really a beautiful thing that they've got going on there, actually. Really is. So they don't need to take on a burden of paying money out when they've already got it in-house. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful business model that is sustainable because it's all within itself. You know what I mean? And not depending on others. And that's not good. Like, when you're the University of Miami, you're going to be the best team in that stadium. You're going to have the better crowds. You're going to have the more important games, and you're paying to be there. You're a tenant, so it cuts out of your profits. When you own the place and you control it, you control everything, and it's a lot different. If they go there, they won't control anything. They'll have to share everything and all that kind of stuff. They don't need it. They don't need it at all. So yeah, so done a beautiful thing with it. All right, let's get to it, baby. Some guy named Jaylen Waddle was dealt. And David Furones is ready to go with our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. That is David Furones. How are you doing, youngin'? You doing good?
I'm doing all right. Yeah. I know a lot of Dolphins fans are salty that maybe they're dumping another jersey that they invested in and see another player go. But ultimately, I think this is a good move for the Dolphins acquiring all this draft capital.
I just have Benjamin Albright on, who covers the Broncos, and he thought they paid a little too much, which I do agree. I think the Dolphins made a steal of a trade. The swap of the fourth rounders doesn't matter to me, but to get a first and a third for a guy that I thought maybe was worth a second rounder, to be quite honest, not a first, and a first and a third. John Eric Sullivan has got some balls to hang on and wait till he gets a third also, because not in my wildest dreams would I thought you would have gotten a first and a third for Waddle.
No, I'm with you. I mean, the whole time we were talking about like trade deadline this past season, and I was thinking, okay, well, like, is the team really going to give up a 1 for Waddle? People were talking about what's the price for Waddle. You know, would it be a 1? And I'm there thinking like, wow, like, could they really get a 1 for Waddle? And I know it's a premium position. He's a wide receiver capable of being wide receiver 1 on a lot of teams. Took a backseat to Tyreek Hill for some years here.
Is he a 1? Is he a 1? Is he a 1?
I'd put him in the second half of wide receiver 1s. Yeah, like so if you're talking about,
like he's like the 20th or the 25th number 1 in the NFL is what you're saying.
Like around 20, like it could be top 20, could be like 18, you know, somewhere like that. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, like a wide receiver 1 for a team that needs one. Yes, a team with a good wide receiver, like a very good wide receiver, he's going to be at most a 1A, 1B. People would say that when it was him and Tyreek, and when it was Tyreek going, I think flat out it was Tyreek 1, Jaylen Waddle 2.
Of course.
Right. I mean, people want to say 1A, 1B, but it wasn't quite that close, in my opinion. So obviously has the speed to extend the field, runs crisp routes. He's had some issues with drops, got better with that last year. So I think he can continue to progress toward not having the drops be an issue. But hasn't been a Pro Bowler yet in 5 seasons, has dipped below 1,000 yards in the past 2 years. After that was a given his first 3 seasons that he would hit that mark. So I like what the Dolphins got in return. They got a 1. People say, oh, it's a late 1, so it's basically a 2. No, what a 2 is a 2. You know, if it's a late 1, it's still a 1. People then want to say early 2, oh, it's basically a 1, and now you're flipping them. So that's not the case. It's still a late 1 is a 1. So now you have 2 first-round picks, and you have that third, which gives you a whopping 7 in the first 3 rounds. You have 4 in the third. So you have 7 in the first 100 picks. 94 is that last one of that. Like
7 and 94.
A lot of confusing talent.
Awesome. Yeah, 7 and 94 is freaking awesome. And by the way, you can now get a receiver anywhere. I don't think it'll be a number 11. I think at 11 they're going to get some kind of an interior lineman, D or O or something, some kind of an impact player in the front. But in the first, second, or all those third rounders, there's no doubt you're going to draft a wide receiver because you've got a nice plethora of picks there.
Yeah, and I'll say maybe the wide receiver becomes in play now at 11, but I would still look first. If Ruben Bain is there as an edge defender, I'd jump at him before a wide receiver in this draft. If Francis Mauigoa drops to 11, I'd take him to be your right tackle of the future. Maybe he starts off at guard while you still have Austin Jackson. One of the corners, now that's where it becomes a little bit of a debate between the corners and Mansour Delane and Jamar McCoy, or if you go with a Jordan Tyson, Mekhi Lemon, if Carnell Tate is there, then maybe you have.
There's no hurry to get a wide receiver right now. You're not.
There's going to be plenty of good ones at 30. Now they have number 30 as well.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere, dude. So why do you know if you could get a shutdown corner? That shit is hard to find, bro.
Yeah.
So either you get a pass rusher, you get a blocker, you get a nasty linebacker, you get a corner. You don't get a wide receiver at number 11. Not when you have another pick in the first round, another pick in the second round, and 4 picks in the third round. If you know what you're doing, you should be able to find a receiver out of that group. you should be able to target a couple guys that you really like, and you're going to find a guy there. At number 11, for me, I think it's more important to get a player that you can really build on and can help you right away. If you get a corner, man, that shit helps you right away. A wide receiver, he's dependent on the offensive line and the running game and the quarterback and everything else. A corner, you just put him out there and, he can help you. A pass rusher, yeah, bro, just put him out there. He can help you. A blocker, just put him out there. He can help you right away. Some of these other guys, they're so dependent on everything else. So that's why for me, wide receiver is completely out of my thought at number 11. That's the way I look at it. But you go ahead.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And there's going to be so many holes where the Dolphins will have free range to just basically decide who is truly your best player available. I mean, if Caleb Downs is available at 11 as a safety, and he's not a premium position, but I mean, he might be possibly
he's a game changer. He's a game changer. Yeah.
Right. So figure out your board. Take the best player. And one thing to remember is the Packers, they went this longest time. So this is where John Eric Sullivan comes from. They went the longest time without drafting a wide receiver in the first round, where it was like all those years of Aaron Rodgers never had a first round wide receiver. I know they finally did in one of the recent drafts, and they were picking later in the first. So that's something to think about. Now, I know ESPN's Mel Kiper reacted immediately and made it Jordan Tyson is the new pick for the Dolphins at 11, and then he had the Auburn edge defender Keldrick Falk at 30. I do like that combination. If they end up with that on that Thursday night of the draft, like, hey, that's freaking fantastic. Like you got an edge.
It depends on what was there at the line. I'm not taking a receiver at 11. I'm just.
I know you're saying not at all. I'm open to it. I'm
not. I'm open to it if I was a playoff team and I need a wide receiver and all that. Like I was telling Ben, like, okay, they might have overpaid a little bit, but it's actually a good trade for them and a great trade for the Dolphins is the way I said it. Good for them, great for them, because their window is now. They needed a playmate. What are you going to go do? Draft a young kid? And, bro, you don't know if he's going to transition right away. He might need a year or two to grow. They don't have time for that shit in Denver. They need a guy right now. And, by the way, he's going to be 28 in November. So if you're the Dolphins, you're going to suck for 2 to 3 years. That you're going to be turning the corner, if anything, maybe in year 4. So what, 28, 29, 30? By 31, when Waddle's here, you're good. This is a trade that John Eric Sullivan made with great foresight, because your window's not now, Waddle's window's now, Denver's window's now, because they got to hurry up before you got to pay Bo Nix, because they got to do that stupid shit about getting the young quarterback and then hurry up, because the window's going to close. And I hate that shit. I hope we go the other way where they build the team and then they add the young quarterback. That's the way. But for me, it's actually a trade that works out for both, because their agenda is completely different than the Dolphins' agenda. And I'm glad John Eric Sullivan realized that with Waddle.
Definitely. I mean, that's the way trades are supposed to work, is that both teams feel like they are getting what they need. And then contending teams who have this window, that's why you're now in the world of overpaying. When it comes to free agency, you got to overpay to land the guy that you need, that final piece that you need, and you're going to do it because you have that window and you got to do it now. And the players and their agents know that, and the other teams who aren't up there, they're not going to go spending all that to go land your services. So that's just the way the world works. The Dolphins spent quite a few years just overpaying for everyone they landed to try and be competitive with the core that they had built and try to go make something of it. Now, with this new regime and moving on, pivoting from those years, taking on all this dead cap, the Dolphins aren't in that world, and they won't be prepared to contend, like you said, for a couple of years. So why waste Jaylen Waddle prime years on some seasons where you're not really going to be up there? So it's what both teams need, is for the Dolphins to stockpile draft picks, build toward the future with all this young talent, and the Broncos, they need a playmaker for Bo Nix before they start paying him, and to really lift that offense for a team who was already the number 1 seed in the AFC, had a home game to go to the Super Bowl, lost that home game, but is right there, has a window available for them where Waddle could be a valuable piece.
All right, where John Eric Sullivan, I think, also nailed it was a couple weeks ago when people were talking about Waddle and HN. He said, no, we're keeping Waddle and HN. We're moving forward. We're building with those guys. He never acted desperate. He never said, oh, no, everybody's for sale, and then all of a sudden you lose leverage. Clearly, he held a spot of leverage because he got a first and a third for Waddle, which, again, bro, I don't know how he did that. I really don't. So this leads me to my question, because I'm sure you got to, now we got to trade Achane. But see, that's not the John Eric Sullivan way. He's not doing that. I'm not trading Achane. I love him. We're going to move on with him. So now you've got to wait for the trade that knocks you off your socks like it did with Waddle. And I think that they'll trade Achane, I think, if the trade makes sense. And this is what I told people on the show already. Maybe nobody trades right now for Achane because running backs aren't that valuable. They don't really give up a lot for running backs. So maybe you're just better off if you're John Eric Sullivan that, you keep Achane and you play him if you have to, but you wait till training camp. Running back for a contending team blows his knee. Now they need a running back. And there's John Eric Sullivan in a position of strength to trade Achane to that team. Or the trading deadline is approaching, and there's a contender that loses their running back. And all of a sudden, this is their window, i.e. like Denver, and they say, well, we've got to make a move now. And there you are again in a position of strength. I think that's the way John Eric Sullivan is playing this. Your thoughts?
Yeah, all of that. And then added caveat, when you look at the trade deadline, then a contender has to think, well, if he's not extended, if Achane is not extended, then is he only going to be a rental for half a season? Because then his contract will be up. Will it be for that team like it was for Jalen Phillips?
Yeah, but you can tag him.
Yeah. And tag is an option for that team. Yeah, of course. So, yeah, but it could end up like the Jalen Phillips situation with the Eagles, where then he makes big money elsewhere. Running backs are going to be limited. It's not like he's going to make edge rusher money. But, so the Dolphins have that to consider. If I'm John Eric Sullivan, I'm not going in like, all right, it's the fire sale. We're going to go move on. Like, you can go various ways. You can go just hold on to Achane. You can go into negotiations with him later and possibly reach an extension because you like him as a player. If you find a price where you like and he wants to stay in Miami and see it through to be on those teams where they're finally able to get somewhere in 2028, let's say, and Achane's still not that old at that point. Sure, maybe you lock him in, or just hold on to him and see what you can find later. Those points in time when a team gets desperate in training camp because the running game is what they're missing, or they have someone go down. Trade deadline, maybe they end up saying, okay, it might only be for a few weeks until the season's over, but we really need this player to take us over the top going into our postseason run. So teams can get desperate for that. So definitely hold off. You don't need to do anything. And if you have Achane on this roster, you still pair him with Malik Willis to give him a chance to see what you got. Because that's really my only thing about it when it comes to being able to assess Malik Willis is now you lost his wide receiver one, so it's going to be more difficult to really gauge what he is as you want to over this next two seasons. We'll see the type of wide receiver the Dolphins bring in, and then it's going to be about how Willis operates the offense, adjusted for understanding, okay, we did send off the guy who would have been his top target when you evaluate Willis.
All right, you know how I feel about this. I didn't like the Malik Willis move. It's pretty simple for me. Either Malik Willis is a franchise quarterback or it's a stupid move. Because if he helped you win a game or two, for what? For what? To lose, draft space, draft position, to me it makes no sense. So Sully, it better be that he turns out to be a franchise quarterback because you're just wasting your time having a guy out there run around and make you maybe he helps you win a couple of games for what? To me, it makes no sense. So now that you traded Waddle, now I'm getting more people coming to my side going, well, why'd you sign Willis? So what you talk about, Willis?
Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make, is that now those two don't necessarily go hand in hand, those two moves. So it will be more difficult to evaluate Willis because you might actually have something, but you might not know because he doesn't have the receivers to throw to. So that's going to be.
You're with me now. I've said I got to grade him on a curve even before Waddle got traded.
Yeah,
I got to grade the guy on a curve because he's going to have a shitty team around him. So I can't really judge him completely. I'm gonna have to kind of assess and say, okay, if he's able to do this, that, maybe he can overcome. Or if he completely caves in constantly, then yeah, he's not the guy. But it's going to be hard to judge somebody who's constantly playing behind a shitty team.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's going to be difficult to judge. So if he does flourish and it's with this roster, then you got to really feel like you've got something in him. But yeah, if he doesn't, then you have that little caveat of, okay, I'm not really sure because I don't know if he sucks because he has nothing around him or if he just sucks. You know, that's going to be hard to evaluate.
Yeah, I think if he sucks, it'll show.
Yeah.
It will. Because I've seen it over and over again and again as a Dolphin fan.
Yeah.
So, that's always been that way. So that's, you knew that John Beck sucked. It just wasn't because the team sucked. You know what I mean? You knew Cleo Lemon sucked. It wasn't just because the team sucked. So we'll find out if he's any good. You got something there, Sean? Go ahead. What question do you have for the Furones man?
David, question for you here. Next season, scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for 17 weeks of this Dolphins action?
What? 11, baby. 11. No. Oh, man. How excited am I? All right. Now, I'm somewhat excited to just watch Malik Willis because I want to see a mobile quarterback, big arm.
I can give you an out.
What happens with Achane. I can give you an out.
I can give you an out. No, what? Well, yeah, you do kind of grade it on a curve, but no, I could give him an out here. If your draft class kicks ass, it brings super excitement to the team.
Yeah,
because all of a sudden you go, holy shit, we got a GM. Holy crap, they got a whole bunch of extra picks, and we see a bunch of them flying around the field and having some fun. To me, that would be exciting. And if somehow Malik Willis can play well behind a shit young team, then that will be exciting too. If Malik doesn't play well, I'm kind of expecting that. So it's not really going to be depressing. But what's going to be inspiring, and this is where I would back, like, you're not going to win a lot. So what? I don't give a shit about that. But if your third-round picks are, like, shining all over the place and your first-round pick is shutting people down on the outside or something, then I'm excited because I'm excited for the next draft. And I'm excited for the next draft. And then all of a sudden you're headed in the right direction. So for me, it's not about the big picture. It's about the small battles inside the season.
Yeah. With that in consideration, I mean, I might truthfully put it at like a 6.5, maybe a 7. Whereas, like, let's say 2023, when you thought the Dolphins had a chance to really go on a run, I might have been up there at like a 9, at like a 9.5. Right. So. Yeah. So with that in mind, I want to see what they get in this draft.
That's the only way we get excitement. Young team. Yeah, it's the only way we get excitement, bro. If the players that were already here play well, that's fun, but they didn't pick them. So we need the guys that they pick also to really kick ass this year. And we just need to see a couple of really bright spots from the draft instead of like, if the whole draft is kind of quiet and not very good, then that doesn't inspire much. Then it really becomes tough on you in a season. But if you're constantly able to bring up, profile stuff on individual draft picks or undrafted players that they picked up and they're playing well, then all of a sudden, dude, that becomes fun. That's really what it's all about.
Yeah, it's exciting from the standpoint of exactly that, seeing what could come in the future, and also because they won't go in with expectations. So any success that they do find will it like just de facto be fun. Whereas 24 and 25, those seasons, it was so not fun because you had really gone all in for the window, and then you were trying to extend the window. Because remember, 22 and 23, we're kind of talking, it's like a 2-year window, while you still have 2 on the rookie contract. You got all these contracts you dished out. Like, what are you going to do by the time you either make a decision on Tua, extend Tua, which they ultimately did, and you have all these cap commitments. And then we saw it still wasn't leading to a playoff win. And then 24, you start off 2-6, 2-7 last year, and you're like, boy, you went all in, and then look at how down this team is. That was not fun. So that, that was like down there at like 3-4, maybe even less on the fun scale. So yeah, there will be some degree of fun from that standpoint.
Yeah, don't focus on winning. Don't think about that, dude.
That's the key.
You have to think about the building process. That's the only way this becomes palatable. It's the only way this becomes fun. It's the only way you're going to enjoy it. If you're thinking about, oh my God, we got to win 10 games, we got to get to the playoffs and all, and you're just, that's just ridiculous. They tore it down. It's obvious. Let's see if they can build it back up. Because if they can build it back up, then you finally have what you've never had before, a general manager and a head coach.
Yeah. And if you see it with this new GM and coach combination, specifically, I want to get to the GM, then you've got a team and a roster that will be consistent over time. It's not like you got to go all in for this window because it's not going to be where that's all you got, and then you got to reset after that. It's going to be where he's going to be doing it the right way because he comes from Green Bay where they're not dishing out big money for free agents like that, because you're not really a draw up there in Green Bay, Wisconsin for free agent targets. Where you can be now in Miami. So it's like he's done it through the draft. Find guys that fit a culture, extend those guys, keep your homegrown talent in, and then you can get aggressive and competitive in free agency, with Miami being a desirable destination, especially if you also throw in that this team is competing and there's a roster, there's a culture that other players who also fit the culture will want to come in and immerse themselves into it.
I'm with you there. All right, what do you got going on in the Sentinel so folks can check you out, my brother?
Oh, man, well, Jaylen Waddle just blew up my day. So, I got that covered on the fly today. And yesterday I did post a free agency, who's coming, going, staying. So if you've been confused with all the names, don't know a lot of the names because it's all like minimum contracts and in that range, then go ahead and check out that file. You can see the whole.
Hey, brother, we had the no-name defense here. Now we have the no-name team. Now we have the no-name team. There's nothing wrong with that. No-name defense back in the day. Now we have the no-name team in 2026. We're good.
Yeah. I mean, right now, the depth chart is like you find a position and it's not a name there right now. It's like number 11 pick. It's number 30 pick. It's a second rounder. It's over here on the other side of the ball. You got, it's all those third round picks. That's the depth chart right now.
Yeah. We're this year, the Dolphins should be called the replacements. That's just kind of the way it goes. And if you can get Shane Falco in here, I might have more confidence in this team. That's all I can tell you. And if you give me an Aussie smoking gambling kicker, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Okay. You ever watch the replacements?
Replacement, yeah. He was the quarterback, right? Shane Falco.
Shane Falco, yeah. Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched that movie?
Keanu Reeves played him.
Have you ever watched that movie?
I have not seen
No,
it.
I don't think so. I
No,
can
I
tell
know.
you would have reacted differently to everything I said if you would have seen the movie. You should watch the movie, dude.
Okay.
It's actually
I know I've heard so much about
it. Still holds up, actually. It still holds up. It's an entertaining, fun football movie. You should watch it. You should watch The Replacements. Okay? And then all the stuff that I said, now I put it together now. And all that kind of stuff. But yeah, go ahead and watch it. All right, follow them on Twitter.
Hold on. They were the Washington Sentinels? I did a quick Google search here. So okay, wow. I read from the Sun Sentinel.
And you work for the Sun and you work for the Sun Sentinel, not Els, because we also had people calling Mike McDaniels for years also. No, bro, there's no S. But whatever it is. So you work for the Sun Sentinel and they were the Sentinels. So even more synergy for you to watch it.
Gotta get on that. All right, I gotta find out which platform I can just watch it on.
The cheerleader, by the way, I thought her smile she's cute. The cheerleader that they got, that they have the relationship with Keanu and her. And if you watch it, then you can tell me she's got a magical smile, dude. Really, really cool smile. Anyway, follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ and better yet, subscribe to the Washington Sentinels. Oh, no, I'm sorry, the Sun Sentinel. I'm sorry, not the Washington Sentinels.
Very good, very good.
All right, David. We will catch up on Friday, my brother. Be good.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Welton Rayom. We love talking about Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. I wish we had those bookend tackles, and you never have to worry about any quarterback, nothing like that. And that's why I saw Progressive get absolutely pancaked by Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom, and that's what happens. And that's why I tell you, if you have damage to your home, your condo, your house, your whatever, before you call the insurance company, in fact, never call the insurance company. I know you're going, what? No. Why are you going to call the insurance company? Call Welt and Rayom first. They send their adjusters. They assess the damage, and then they call the insurance company on your behalf. It's the best way. So that's how you get it done. 954-966-4646. Criminal defense, condo damage, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, Welt and Rayom.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
So Malik Willis drops back, and it's Tutu Atwell, Malik Washington, Jalen Tolbert, Terrence Marshall Jr., Theo Weiss, Taj Washington, A.J. Henning. That's the receiving core that poor kid has to throw to. That is some scary stuff, man. I hope Malik also got insurance, like life insurance. I'm just saying. I mean, talk about a guy that's going to be running for his life. That is one hell of a receiving core there. Luckily, he has Greg Dulcich, of course, because he can carry the offense. By the way, and HN for now, for the moment. But by the way, Greg Dulcich might be a really good backup tight end in fantasy. Like you Dolphin fans, when you get to the fantasy drafts, you're not going to get Greg Dulcich as a starter, but you do have to have some backups, right? Dude, Greg Dulcich is going to be a steal as a backup because they don't have a lot of people to throw to, and the highest percentage passes for any quarterback is to the running back and the tight ends. And last time those two guys come from what team is that? Green Bay. Oh, they used the tight end quite a bit in Green Bay. No matter who, they use the tight end forever. they've used the tight end. So Greg Dulcich might be a nice little backup tight end in fantasy football. Crazy shit. Crazy because he's going to be a starter here, but you can't start him in a 12 or 14 team league, but you're going to need a backup tight end. And that might be a little steal because they've got nobody else to throw to. And he's kind of gritty. So there you go. What the hell? You know? What do we got? Don't forget, folks, please smash the hell out of the like button. Very important you smash the like button, okay? And you can also make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Visit our friends at Caneswear. They've got Canes gear. They got anything and everything practically with a Canes logo on it. Dolphins gear, Heat gear, Marlins gear, Panthers gear, Inter Miami gear, all kinds of stuff. And, of course, use our code BIG-O10 online or in person. You will get 10% off. BIG-O10 at caneswear.com or in person at 2655 South University Drive in Davie. Now that I think about it, I just thought about La Spada. Oh, if I had that right next to me, that's where I would be going in a few minutes, to La Spada. That would be a beautiful thing. Let's see. What do you guys got out here? Will Chris Quinn take a head coaching job somewhere else? I don't know. Not really worried about that right now. I'm really worried about my Miami Heat and the Arison and Riley combination of not adjusting to the way things are done in the NBA. That's the disturbing part for me that's going on right now. Just got down with work. Waddle to Denver. Damn. That's right, Daniel. You can rewind. We talked extensively about all the angles to this trade and what it means to other players and everything else. And we also had interviews with Ben Albright, who covers the Broncos, and, of course, with Furones that we have every week. Perfect timing. We had him on today on the day of the trade. So good shit. Steven Gonzalez, damn, I just noticed Waddle got traded today, March 17, and he's number 17. If only the draft pick was 17. There you go. And Cash 3 will be 171 today. They don't win because they're unlucky and the players and coaches screw it up. They expect these dual threats to carry them to a title. That's right. Great football move, Big O, says Dolphin Dave. I agree, sir. I agree. What else do we have here? I don't care how much a QB can run and make plays with his legs. At some point, you're going to need him to make throws from the pocket. That's why you need an offensive line. Amen? Amen. And we're going to find out if Malik Willis, I don't believe, can make a living from the pocket. And you know me, if the quarterback can't make a living from the pocket, I pretty much have no use for you. I'm already off your bandwagon. So, yeah, that would be an issue. Let me do a little music, Sean. Let me get a little music in. Switch it up a little bit here. If you got any questions, please send them in. Send in any questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. Thank you. Let's go with the musicians born on this date, on the 17th. Hosier, the Irish singer, born in 1990. Who else? Caroline Corr, drummer and vocalist for the Irish band The Corrs, born in 73 on a St. Paddy's Day. Don't you know I'm wearing an Irish band? You too. Can't wait for this tour coming up for you two. I am definitely going to Ireland, baby. Billy Corgan, Smashing Pumpkins, born in 67. Michael Ivins, keyboardist and founding member of the Flaming Lips, born in 63. Claire Grogan, actress, singer, Altered Images. Happy birthday. Let's see what else. Mike Lindup, keyboardist. and falsetto singer with level 42. What else? What else? Scott Gorham, guitarist and songwriter with Thin Lizzy. By the way, he wrote the song "The Boys Are Back in Town." Boys are back in town. Born in 51. Let's see who else. John Sebastian from the Loving Spoonful. Singer, songwriter, guitarist, harmonist. Born in 44. Paul Cantor. Nice. Co-founding member of Jefferson Airplane and was also with Jefferson Starship, too. Born in 41. Zola Taylor from the American group The Platters. Born in 1938. And the amazing, the fantastic, the crooner baby, Nat King Cole. Born in 1919. Strong list today for birthdays. All right, let's go with other famous people. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means, unfortunately, they have passed away. They are no longer with us. Like Golf Hall of Fame member Bobby Jones, born in 1902. Serial killer John Wayne Gacy, born in 42. I don't know why it's on this list. Actor Patrick Duffy, born in 49. He is 77, still with us. Kurt Russell, born in 51. He's 75. Leslie Ann Down, actress, born in 54. She's 72. Gary Sinise, bless that man. Gary Sinise does so much for veterans, dude. He does so much charity work. Gary Sinise is, I will never be a hundredth of the human being that Gary Sinise is. How about that? He is just impeccable. Born in 55, he is 71, and bless that man for everything he does. Actor Rob Lowe, born in 64, he is 62, and looks like he's 42 still. Let's see what else. Celebrating birthdays, National Soccer Hall of Fame member Mia Hamm, born in 72, she's 54. Oh, who else? Musician Tamar Braxton, born in 77, 49. Model Coco Austin, she is 79. Born in 79, she's 47. Yeah, her ass is probably about 47 inches big, too, at the same time. That is a ginormous bouquet. TV personality Rob Kardashian, born in 87. He is 39 today. Do you have his socks? Let's see who else. Olympic gold swimming stud Katie Ledecky. Man, she's good, dude. Born in 97, she is 29. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date?
Yes, we do. And you stole one of mine, actually.
Oh, God.
Timothy Thatcher turns 43. Test was born on this date in 1975. Gia Miller is 28. Cora Combs was born on this date in 1923.
Billy Corgan probably is in
The
wrestling.
violent Brody King turns 39. The one you stole from me, the owner of the National Wrestling Alliance, Billy Corgan, turns 59.
I was joking.
Yeah. No, he bought the NWA. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, he does concerts with wrestling and different things like that.
Okay.
Little things, so. Yeah.
All right.
And last but not least, CM Punk's favorite Samoan named Joe. Samoa Joe is 47 on March 17th, 2026.
That's funny, dude. I was joking with Billy Court because it's always like some random shit that you pull out and like, oh, yeah, I took one. I'm like, what? Oh, so you changed up the birthdays. But you still stuck Tua in there. And Mike McDaniel. You stuck them like behind the faces. Okay. I didn't see the new one. I didn't notice it. Let me see. Happy birthday. Oh, okay. I love that. All right. That is good. That is good. That is good. All right. Let's go with music history because I'm sure you're all dying to know what happened today in music history. Did anything big happen? Well, we start off in 58. The first greatest hits compilation was released in 58, and it's by Johnny Mathis. The album proved a huge hit, and the format caught on quickly. The Mathis album stayed in the Billboard 200 charts for more than 9 years, a record not broken until Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon eclipsed it. Ray Charles in 62 launched his own record label, Tangerine Records. In 78, Elvis Costello released his second studio album, This Year's Model. It features the singles I Don't Want to Go to Chelsea, Pump It Up, which is a great song. I love that song from Elvis Costello, Pump It Up, and This Year's Girl. That's probably my favorite song of Elvis Costello, Pump It Up. Yeah. In 84, on this date, Van Halen's Jump peaked at number 1 in the U.S. In 86, Husker Du released their 5th studio album, Candy Apple Gray, and it features the singles Don't Want to Know If You're Lonely and Sorry Somehow. In 86, Depeche Mode released their 5th studio album, Black Celebration, and it features the singles Stripped, A Question of Lust, which is an excellent song, A Question of Time, and But Not Tonight. In 92, Katie Lang released her second solo studio album, Ingenuine, and it features the singles Constant Craving, which is like her, that was her number 1 hit, Constant Craving. Good song, by the way. Miss Shalatine and the Mind of Love. In 92, the Juliana Hatfield released her debut solo album. Wasn't it called the Juliana Hatfield 3? Not Juliana Hatfield. Can you look that up for me? Wasn't it called Juliana 3? Not Juliana Hatfield. Juliana Hatfield 3 or Juliana 3 or whatever. Something like that. Released her 3rd studio album, Never Enough. It features the singles It Ain't Heavy and Dancing Without Sleeping. In 2006, the Smiths turned down a $5 million offer to Reform for a set at the Coachella Music Festival. $5 million for one set. You know how Coachella would have been that day? People would have broken into that shit. Juliana Hatfield 3, was it? Okay. I don't know why I'm thinking Juliana Hatfield 3. Anyway. What else do we have? On this date in 2017, Depeche Mode released their 14th studio album, Spirit, and it features the singles Where's the Revolution, Going Backward, and Cover Me. Let me see if there's any birthdays that were missed on the other one. Sometimes that happens. Patty Boyd, who inspired George Harrison's songs I Need You, If I Needed Someone, Something, and For You Blue, and Eric Clapton's song Layla, Bell Bottom Blues, Wonderful Tonight, and Have You Ever Loved a Woman is 82. Damn, that's a lot of songs for one woman. Damn. She must have been great in bed. She must have been fantastic in bed. Janet Gardner, former lead singer Vixen, she is 64 today. Paul Black of LA Guns is 67. A couple of names that weren't on that list. Let's see, anybody else? What I thought the name of the band was the Juliana Hatfield 3. Oh, that was her own band. Oh, so yeah, but they weren't talking about Blake Babies. So the band was called Juliana Hatfield 3. Okay, all right. I know the Lemonheads. Yes, yeah. I'm sorry. There's just a lot of shit in here. It's just way too much shit in here. Way too much. It's just stuff that just sticks to me, and I can't get rid of it. It's like luggage, and so it's just one of those things. I knew it was called the Juliana Hatfield 3. It's weird. Anyway, Most of you are like, why would he? Who cares? Like, I'm the only idiot that cares. Anyway, we're overdue for a good crushing, says Brett Dodger. I don't know what he's talking about, but he's talking to somebody else. Show me the money. I wonder that if it would ever come out of Malik Willis's mouth. Well, they didn't show him that kind of money. So maybe when they do show him that kind of money, it'll come out. That's it. That really rubbed people the wrong way, dude. That really turned a lot of people off. It's too funny. Too funny. All right, what else do we have going on? By the way, the Bitcoin is pumping. It's right around 74, 75, and I expect it to get way better. U.S. Treasury is now buying back $15 billion of debt. They have no money. It's just printing, and they're buying back the debt. The record was $14.7 billion set last week. So this is the largest Treasury buyback ever. And it's just going to get bigger and bigger because they're printing money like crazy. Rate cut tomorrow will not happen. Jerome Powell will not do it. He's going to leave it for the next Fed chair that steps in, Wersch. He's going to leave that mess to him and let him take the blame for whatever happens. So don't expect any kind of cuts tomorrow. It's just not going to happen. All right. So, unfortunately, this war is not going to end for a while. It's going to be ugly. Let's see. Juliana's second album was with the band Juliana Hatfield 3. I know, I have it. It's actually a pretty good album. What is it like? What's the main song in that one? Like Little Sister or something, or I forgot what it was. I'd have to look at the lyrics or the set list of the songs in it, but it was like something about a sister or something like that. It was like a decent song. That was like the best song out of that album that came out. Just remember what happened. What do you got? Any breaking news? Nothing?
I'm trying to follow this because
Marvin Wayans, the comedian? Oh,
he is.
Oh, Marvin.
Some of the stuff he's saying is quite comical. I mean, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Why? What's he saying?
Well, at one point, he says Lamar can live from the pocket. So,
Okay.
and then people go after him. But then he comes back and he says, Big O would side with me. Just saying.
No, he doesn't listen to the show. This guy's never listened to the show. He doesn't know anything. He's just a newbie. Anyway, we thank Ben Albright. We thank, of course, David Furones. Appreciate those guys. We thank, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Steve Calabro. He's going to join us. We'll get him on Friday. He was slammed today. We'll get him on Friday. We'll have some fun with him. We thank Mr. Brunetti. None of this happens without Mr. Brunetti. He's been a sponsor of ours for 15 plus years, and we appreciate it immensely. We thank everybody out here for making it nice and easy for us. I know Michael Golden is out here somewhere making it all happen. And come on out here, by the way, at Hialeah Park. They're giving away the Lexus at the end of the month from Lexus. It's Friday. That's right. Next Friday. Lexus of North Miami, and the Lexus is downstairs. And anytime you play the slots, you get an entry. So as many times as you play slots, you keep getting more and more entries. And I keep reminding you guys, very few people come back for the raffle. You have to be here present next Friday. Not this Friday, coming up next Friday. You have to be present for the giveaway. So it's less people. You actually have a better chance of winning the car, the Bitcoin, the gold, the boats, whatever they're giving away. This time it's a Lexus. And it's a beautiful SUV, dude. Beautiful SUV. It's a Lexus. What are you going to do? Anyway, we appreciate it. And come visit our friends here at Hialeah Park. Smoke-free casino. Nice and comfortable. Ladies will serve you drinks and food while you're gambling. Plus, you can wager on the tracks all around the country. We thank, of course, the great Sean Stanley. Appreciate all of you out there tuned in. Hit the like button, made a donation, visit our great sponsors. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, from Subaru at 11 o'clock. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the